Steve, just think about the town hall format, and we have talked about this around the office a lot. It's not obvious that either one of them is better, demonstrably better in this setting. Who do you think, if you think about, Trump's more of a showman, she's got more experience debating, who does the format favor?
Well, actually, this won't surprise you because I'm a Democrat, but I actually believe that Hillary Clinton is probably more natural in those kind of forums because they're much more like the way Democrats have to campaign for president and the way Democrats campaign if they run for the Senate, for instance. Donald Trump, remember, throughout this campaign has mostly been big rallies, standing behind a podium, screaming insults at people, and he's not walking around a crowd interacting with real voters. So I think for Hillary, it's a much more natural setting. Donald Trump's a showman, so he's obviously going to be a good performer. But I think for her, it doesn't take a performance. It's just kind of who she is and how she's campaigned.
Jeff, when you were running Ted Cruz's campaign, you spent a lot of time watching your guy on a debate stage with Donald Trump. Make the case for why Steve's wrong and why this is a better, more favorable setting for Donald Trump.
Well, I would actually agree with him. So, but this is what I think is the reason, is because Donald's got a 50-foot flag behind him.
Disagree with the premise of my question. Thanks a lot, buddy.
25,000 people stay. But this is what I would say, this is where I believe Steve's got it wrong, is that he has an opportunity to showcase a part of himself that he's never done before. And that sets the expectations. If you see this guy who's red-faced and yelling and getting people whipped up and 25,000 people, the 50-foot flag and a big, presidential look. But then you see in his advertising, even of late, where he's kissing a child on the cheek at the end of one of the commercials. I mean, this is an opportunity. I believe he walks in structurally in a disadvantage from the way he's campaigned versus the way Hillary has campaigned. But as an opportunity, I think the sky is the limit there for Donald. If he comes out and is emotive, connects, shares his heart, as Mike Pence would say, that's a real opportunity, and we've not seen, and that could be an opportunity for him.
So he should avoid kicking any babies out of that room on Sunday night, right?
Probably so, at least for one night.
Right. Yeah. You guys,
are you sure he didn't bite that baby?
No biting. You guys have done a lot of races, and I want to ask you about one that's gotten a ton of attention, but I don't think enough, which is Rob Portman versus Ted Strickland, Ohio Senate. Jeff, what lessons are there for the other candidates running this year, if any, with Portman running way ahead of Trump in Ohio and putting away a race that people thought would be close?
There's this like an incumbent dilemma that they have when they have a candidate that's announced and running against them. How long do you ignore them and just kind of act like nothing's going on in your race, everything's fine, versus when do you engage them? And it's a dilemma that goes on in every campaign. What the Portman campaign did well and what incumbents routinely do poorly is engaged immediately. They accepted that they're in a tough race. They accepted they're in a presidential swing state in a battleground year, and they went after it early and often. And I think that's one of the lessons. It's always, as an incumbent, you want to have this invincibility. You don't want to show credibility to your opponent. It's tougher than I'm saying that it is, but it's really a difficult decision to actually take a race seriously, show that you're worried and you could be defeated, and engage a campaign structurally from the very beginning. He did that and was a master at it. It didn't hurt that he had a poor challenger, but he put this race away. And can you believe we're talking about the DSCC pulling out of critical battleground states that they should always be in at this point in the race?